you begin your course, I'd like you to consider some targets for yourself. I'm going to share with you a lot of techniques and advice on putting together a presentation. But you can't go forward on this course unless you know exactly where are you going to. What is your target? And what I'd like you to do right now is to download the resource that comes with this lecture that gives you a bit of a guide on setting this target. If you haven't downloaded it yet, download it now, pause this video, and pick it up again once you've downloaded that resource. I'm assuming you have this page in front of you. Now on this page, it simply says, what is your current level of speaking and where is your target level of speaking? So where would you like to get to 1 year from today? Assuming that you are going to go through the rest of this course and action everything that you are learning from it. So under current, what I'd like you to do is to think of your current presentation, your current area of speaking, and answer 2 questions. 1, what has been the biggest audience size that you have spoken to? Now I want you to consider both the audience sizes for your work as well as in your personal life. So say at work, the biggest audience might have been to a group of board members and there were maybe 15 people in there. However, you might have spoken at your brother or sister's wedding or a family function somewhere. And you might have spoken to that audience of say 300 people. It doesn't matter on the timing, but the fact is there were 300 people there. And also, I don't want you to consider how long ago you've spoken. So even though you've spoken to maybe the family function 5 to 10 years ago, it's still an audience size that I'm interested in. So write down in this resource the biggest audience that you've spoken to. The second part of this is I want you to think about the longest duration that you've spoken to. Now again, it might be at the same function or it might be a different function. So the biggest audience might have been the family function 10 years ago, but the duration of how long you spoke might have been to that smaller group of people, the small 15-member boardroom, and you spoke to that group for about, say, half an hour, but you spoke at the family function for 5 minutes. You get what I mean? It doesn't have to be the same event. I'm just interested in the biggest audience that you've spoken to, as well as the longest duration that you've spoken for. Now, once you've got that, I now need to consider your target. Where would you like to see yourself 1 year from today, assuming you're going to take all these skills and put them into practice? Now, 1 year from today, what is the biggest audience that you are aiming to speak to? Now, before you go and put a very big number here, remember that it needs to be realistic, it needs to be practical. And it takes a big jump to go from, say, 5 people that you're speaking to 1,000. So I'm just asking you to make that jump, that big move, realistic. So what is the biggest audience size that you'd like to move to 1 year from today? And how long, duration-wise, would you like to speak for? Once you write that down, you set a target for yourself and it entrenches in your mind where you are going to. Then you can use every single tool that I'm going to cover with you in this course to help you get there. I'll give you some time now to reflect on this and write down the answers for that, and I'll see you on the next lecture.